I'm Tom Blake from Buttevant Heritage Group, and I have the honour of being chair for this year. And I'd like to welcome you all to our conference on sustainable heritage tourism in small Irish towns. I'd like in particular to welcome Minister Humphreys. It is a huge honour for Buttevant and Buttevant Heritage Group that the Minister for Heritage has come to open our conference. I'd also like to welcome Councillor John Paul O'Shea, deputising for the County Manager and representing Cork County Council. John Paul, thank you for coming. I'd also like to thank our local TDs, David Stanton and Kevin O'Keefe and Sean Sherlock. It really is, again, a huge honour for us, so thank you. And I'd also like to thank Councillor Melissa Molan for coming to our conference also. Now, there are also some other important people here, like the Heritage Council and the Irish Wall Towns Network, huge supporters of ours, and thank you for coming as well. And finally, Avondhu Blackwater Partnership, who are our partners in developing our assets here in Buttevant. And everybody else, thank you also for coming, especially our fellow members of the Irish Walls Towns Network. It's a great network. We are learning from each other, and our conferences are always hugely satisfying and memorable, and everybody else as well. So our conference is on sustainable heritage tourism in small Irish towns. Every day, many people travel through Buttevant and North Cork, and they're all going somewhere else. They're on our main road here, the N20. They're either racing to Cork or Limerick, or they're over on the motorway heading to Dublin, or they're going west to Killarney on the Wild Atlantic Way. Very few people stop. And that's not to say we don't have our own attractions here in North Cork to give them reason for stopping. We only have to look over the fields there towards Doneraile to see the success of Doneraile Park. And there we will have many other examples, success stories from North Cork to give later on today, giving us reasons to stop here. And we really ought to be seeing, if enough people stop, some of the benefits of tourism. We should be seeing more restaurants in our towns here in North Cork. We should be seeing more, upmarket shops and activity centres and forest walks and riverside walks. Public toilets wouldn't be a bad idea either. Now, some of these travelling hordes do stop. We try to spot them in Buttevant. We have people racing across, handing them booklets and little maps of the town so they can do self-tours. But if we don't spot them and they don't ask, and we do have booklets available in the post office and in Tom Sheehan's Auctioneers and in Hutch's Hardware, but if they don't ask, they don't really get an experience of the town. We do give guided tours every Saturday, 3 p.m, and some of these have been a huge success. We had over 50 people on a tour during Heritage Week this year, and last year it was an even bigger tour during Heritage Week. But sometimes we don't have anybody on the tour. No, that doesn't happen too often, because that would be very demotivating, but it does happen. We've had a real push in recent years to promote Buttevant. Social media has been a great help. We have a big following on Facebook, and Buttevant.ie gives you the history of Buttevant. And we have a great story to tell. We're a wall town from medieval times. We were founded by a swashbuckling family of the Barrys from Wales and originally from Normandy. Philip the Barry came to Ireland in the first wave of the Norman invasion in the 1170s. He was granted the lands around North Cork and East Cork in payment for his part in the invasion. His son William was the first Barry to come here, and the donation of the lands were confirmed by King John in 1204 to William the Barry. He's built the castle on a really impenetrable cliff-top location along the riverfront. He got a charter in 1234 to hold an annual fair in November and a weekly market in the town. In 1226 he got the Augustinian monks to come to Ballybeg. His son David Oge, who was Lord Chancellor of Ireland, got the Franciscan order to come to Buttevant, and their friary is still just off the main street. Our wall was built in the 14th century. We had the first grant in 1317, which is 700 years ago this year, which is one of the reasons why we have a special push to promote the town this year. And in 1375 we got a second grant to build a new north gate because the town was expanding. Unfortunately, it was pretty much downhill after that. The O'Briens of Thomond sacked Buttevant in the 15th century. Our monasteries were closed in the 16th. Lord Sidney captured both of Buttevant Castle and the Barry Castle, the Barry stronghold, in the late 16th century as part of the Elizabethan plantation. And another O'Brien, Lord Inchiquin, burnt the friary in the 17th century as part of the Cromwellian invasion. The Barrys left Buttevant then after that, recamped to Barry's Courting Castle lines, and finally got shot at Buttevant in the late 18th century when they sold the manor of Buttevant to John Anderson. There was a bit of renewal after John Anderson came. He refurbished the castle, he built the mill, he brought the army barracks to Buttevant, and we have a big exhibition on the barracks out on display. And then the churches were built, St. John's and St. Mary's, and the convent. So we have a fabulous legacy for ourselves here in Buttevant, but we need to be able to exploit it. And that's the purpose of Buttevant Heritage Group, to promote and preserve and develop this heritage. But we haven't got enough here. Looking around old castles and rocks doesn't really, float everybody's boat, so to speak. So we need to combine with our neighbours in North Cork and in the Irish Wall Towns network and exploit our region to give a comprehensive offering. So I hope that's what we're going to talk about today. Thank you all for giving up your Saturday to be here. We'll try to move things along quickly. Hopefully everybody will get something out of today and you'll go away with some action for your own group or town. I have so many people to thank, I think I'll leave it until later. I want to particularly thank the school for hosting us. Not everything in Buttevant is medieval, as you can see. I'd like to ask John Paul now to speak on behalf of